few more words on the friendship. To me, the only friendship, or the only right friendship, the only good friendship, the only good friend is someone who doesn't want anything from me other than whatever it is that I want for myself. And then relishes the opportunity to witness and to be bathing in this joyous energy of mine for achieving whatever it is that I wanted. So I don't want support from them. I don't need support from them. In fact, the beauty of doing it for myself without the support is, for me, the beauty of any accomplishment. Beyond like some specific technical things you might just need literally logistic help or something, fair enough. But anything else that they're there supporting you in spirit or in energy or whatever, I don't need that, and I don't ask for that of them, and I don't like being asked that. I give it when I want to give it, and sometimes I don't give it because I didn't even think about it, but generally that's not my way of interacting or supporting. And just generally, the whole support thing is just such a scaffolding that really is rusty, a relational scaffolding that it's dangerous, I feel, more than actually helpful. Or maybe that you need to be at a certain stage in your life, and therefore friendships where that is therefore, you know how to keep it clean so it doesn't rust, and you can get off it when you don't misuse it, you don't rely too heavily on it. So once you remove it or it gets removed, then it crumbles. So that's why I don't particularly care for it. But if you do care for it, just be careful of these things and mindful of those things. So for today, I'll leave you with that. Today's video, is actually recorded on the day 15, and so tomorrow, day 16, I do not want to record a video because I'm preparing for a presentation on tomorrow, my day 16 of the challenge, in the evening, and I'll be speaking live for at least an hour, maybe a bit longer. And I noticed as I was rehearsing over the last few days, my voice was getting croaky and my throat was sore, and not really, doing well with all this rehearsing. Okay. And I thought, wow, it just got me thinking. And on the back of all of this talk about my, separateness from the rest of the world, or certainly my aloneness and my loving it. The side effect is that I don't talk much out loud, and I've been with my partner for over 20 years, so it's like we don't chit-chat anymore as much. So I don't speak in that sense either much, and that's it. I don't really talk to my family often, and when I do, I speak to my mum, who I just then listen mostly, which I love doing, so I don't speak either much. So conclusion, the wrap-up of that is that I just hardly ever use my voice like this, other than when I record the video, which is, up to 10 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. But what I wanted to say is actually, so I was kind of like, oh my God, just a bit shocked. Didn't really put these two together or didn't really think about it. But then I was like, oh my God, that's just beautiful. And so if you're into human design, if you understand human design a little bit, go check it on Jovian Archive or something. Well, anyway, if you don't, you don't. But my point is, if you have an open throat, sorry, I just wonder whether there are dogs around me. If you have an open throat, the point of your existence, in a way, is not to speak for the sake of speaking. And for my youth, certainly in adolescence, that's what I've done. I just chatted, and I couldn't bear silences between friends or just anyone. So I would just entertain. I would just entertain all the time, be funny, be sweet, be cute, ask questions. That was my kind of problem. So I need to change my hand because there's a little house there, if you can see, kind of there. Yeah. So that was my, the buffer. It was my buffer. So instead of me having to speak, which I kind of on a deep intuitive level knew that it wasn't really my thing, to have conversations for the sake of chatting to anyone. That was my unconscious way of doing right by myself, which was to ask questions and then to listen, and I actually love that. So yeah, so for the last few years, but particularly this year, 2020 particularly, I hardly speak like that verbally. And what I mean by that, just like every few days, maybe I have a longer conversation or longer speaking moment for whatever reasons. And it's just beautiful. It's kind of what's transpired more than ever before is this, like, there's really no need to say much to anyone. So this could be where I am in my life, as in the age as well, or I don't know. But I just don't have a need or desire to communicate myself to anyone in particular. I'm doing it here because it's to anyone and no one. And at this stage, day 15, I have, although I'm going to be posting this on day 16, I have no subscribers. And I don't think there are many views, if any. This could be me checking whether it's working or something. So maybe YouTube records as a view. I don't know about that. And I'm loving that, loving it. So in a way, I really don't want to have any subscribers. I just want people to walk past this channel by accident, find it, and then listen to a few because I will resonate, and it will just be good for the next leg of their journey. Got a bit of a boost to just be quiet, be alone, and be okay with that. So yeah, that's it for day 16 that I'm recording on a day 15. For the reasons I just described, I need to keep my voice healthy and not be unprofessional and, pack up halfway through the presentation that people came to see and listen to. So I'll see you day 17 again. Okay, so I ended up recording on day 16. And I'm saying this because yesterday I recorded for today as well, because I have an important long presentation where I'll be speaking for an hour tonight. So I'll be rehearsing all day, and I just kind of wanted to reduce the time I spend on talking, basically, as I don't talk otherwise much out loud, which is what I talk about in my previous video, as in day 15, but particularly what I was recording on day 15 for day 16, which is today. But so at this point, I don't know if I'll be able to just bring them all together, as I'm not still very good at this whole video editing and combining and whatever you do. So yeah, so you might have this, and I would love to include that, but not as a separate video, just as a joint kind of in one reel, as it were. So I'll try to do that, but if not, yeah, that's why I'm kind of opening with what I've just opened it with. But what I wanted to say, as I was just washing my hands, it just hit me kind of what, I mean, I'm aware of this, but it somehow, for some reason, it hit me as a way of like, this is important, this is so important for a maverick, any maverick, to do, so therefore I want to share. And I'm in the middle of it, as in, it's properly unfolding for me, like palpably, like I can feel it physically, like not in the sense of emotionally or anything's hurting me particularly in that sense physically and palpably, but just like it's like there's no coming back, there's no turning back. And what I'm talking about is the most radical thing I have done yet, and I'm, like I say, in the middle of doing, and I'm seeing results that are at the same time thrilling and as well a bit scary, which is that it's to do with my family. And I have a sibling and my parents, and my sibling has his own little family, relatively young family, even though he's oldish like I am. But so anyway, so I'm essentially ending my relationship with them. But it's not in a sense of like cutting them out of my life, never. At least I don't want that. Or like falling out, certainly not with my parents. With my sibling, possibly. I hope not, but I don't know if he's taking well to my ways, and my ways are just solid distancing. And it's, again, not out of any anger anymore, which I had for a long time, because what sibling and family relationship is ever, free of anger? Well, you might be lucky, but then you wouldn't be probably watching this channel. So yeah, so I've been, it's all gone. All that anger and guilt, which I was ridden with because of my, I'm not going to go into that now, but nothing actually real, nothing real. It's all to do with past lives and stuff. I think I talk about that in another video. And but what I meant by physically, like palpably, I'm feeling it is happening, is because I literally cannot be or do other way. I cannot be any other way than I'm being, and I cannot do anything that I haven't been doing. I think that's right. So I have been unavailable and uncontactable, because that's how I want to be. I don't want to ever be easily accessible by anyone, because that just interferes with my frequency. And family was the last thing I felt okay doing this with, partly because I felt that I would be judged and disliked, and don't think disowned. Well, certainly not by my parents, but like I say, with my sibling possibly. I don't know. I hope not. I hope, I hope we will be okay. Maybe not straight away, but one day in the near future. But my point is, I would be, I would always just maintain contact. I enjoy the contact occasionally, but mostly I don't, because we're just so different and we have nothing in common, really just, I love him dearly, but at the same time, I just really don't have anything I want to talk to him about. It's just like such a different world. And plus we clash in so many ways in terms of like values. What he values is quite opposed, like it's contrary to what I value. So I actually actively dislike his values, but I would never disrespect him for that. It's just his thing, and I don't want to change. It's who he is and how he is. It's fine. I just can't have that in my space because I don't want to engage with it. Anyway, so those are kind of brief reasons that have always been true, but I struggled to actually own them, because I fear that, he will not take it well, and then he'll just kind of cut me out, which I would find hard, and I still will find hard if that happens. But at this point, that's what I mean. Palpably, I feel this because I'm okay with that. However much I will, be sad and maybe upset, possibly even angry to a point, it's okay. And it's never been okay. Up until recently, it's never been okay. Hence making such a point of, talking about this, because it's like, for the first time in my life, I'm able to do that. And it's kind of like I have no other choice. I've arrived at a point in my life where I just really don't know. I have nothing else to do or give by doing me, and me is, going my own separate way and being separate, and not being part of the family the way they possibly would like me to, or the way they maybe even used to. And it's for the first time I feel absolutely settled in that. I feel good about it, because I'm not coming from any bad place anymore, which is why I probably struggled before. It would have felt like a bad blood, or when you end things on a bad note, or it's kind of always haunts you. Where I'm clean in that sense now, and that's why I'm able to do it, and it's all of that is out of my system. I mean, never say never. In a few months' time, I might have a different video on the same topic. But I have had these experiences before where this palpable change has happened, and it's like, I know I'm done. I know I'm done with whatever ways I used to be, behaviors and, attitudes and feelings and beliefs and all that. There comes that point in my time, in my life, and it's something, like I say, I've experienced before. That's why I'm speaking of it as I do. I literally, that's it. It's gone. It's like I cannot be that person anymore. I just cannot. If I couldn't try. I mean, I probably wouldn't be a bad actress, but I don't think I'd be great. So it's not like I can't pretend. It's just that I can't. I just cannot bring myself to pretend. It's not mental or emotional. It's like I haven't got it. It's like I cannot do it. So anyway, so this might be an individual video on day 16, or it might be at the end of my other stuff I recorded. I hope it is, because I'd like to include them all together, because they're kind of fun. They will look different and sort of jumbled a bit editing wise, but I kind of like that. So either way, see you tomorrow, day 17.